Hello, my little weirdos. It was a relatively even day today, not a lot of stuff that took us by surprise. Except I was just doing a little bit of light browsing on YouTube. And I'm not on TikTok, so I don't get or act so I don't see a lot of these complainy I didn't vote for that regret voters type of thing. So, some creators do like not small like mine, tiny, but mid. They'll do compilations, clips of TikToks for whatever the topic is, for deportation, whatever it is. So I was watching this where they're all whining and complaining about how booing him at the Super Bowl was so disrespectful, and he's gone to games that just, like it or not, he's your president, and I'm thinking, uh-huh. Didn't they just spend the last 4.5 years bitching about Joe Biden, and this dude's just 2 years younger than Biden, and Kamala, because she was black and a woman, and she was always part black, so she didn't become black, okay? They grilled Hillary Clinton into freaking oblivion. They harassed and mocked and challenged and threatened Obama for 4 years plus the campaign. In fact, at the State of the Union addresses, Joe Biden was heckled by Republicans at anything that he spoke at. Green and a few others had to open their big white traps and heckle. Complete lack of civility and decorum. And they've done this stuff for 4 years, minimum. They heckled and they harassed Biden when he was the VP for Obama. It's petty, it's childish, and y'all have done it for a span of nigh going on a decade now, when you combine them. And you have the nerve, the unmitigated gall, to get your little happy white ass on your little TikToks complaining that one of them called us demis, that people booed him, only booed him, cat hair, at the Super Bowl. Well, first of all, it's the only president in history of America that ever went to something like that on our dime. Then he turned around. Oh, and Ivanka and shit came too. How many days later? Just a few days later, he went to the NASCAR. That was on the taxpayers' dime. Yeah. The taxes that he's trying to take from you, but doesn't want to give them back when you turn 62 like I just did. Yeah, those. Oh, and going around the track, go look at Hitler did something similar in 42. I've got the picture up on my community post there. Yeah. So he shouldn't have had his ass at the Super Bowl on our dime with family on our dime. And like I said, at the NASCAR, not only did that cost, but the little trip around the track was extra. Every weekend now, it's been a month, every weekend he has spent, after he spends that awful hard Sharpie time during the week, every week he goes golfing. It's like $3 million or something every frickin' weekend. And it's costing us, the taxpayers. He's doing it deliberately. He is trying. His plan is to destroy the American democracy. And with it, change the planet. Let me tell you something about Ukraine, all of you. I said this on a previous video. All of you who don't want to support him. We made an obligatory promise. We made a contract with Ukraine back in '94. When Russia was whining they didn't like a country with nuclear weapons right on our border, because Ukraine had nuclear abilities, and he was pushing. That's why he wouldn't invade and take the country and absorb it into Russia like he's wanted. That was what was stopping it. And Ukraine was like, no, because if we do, he's just going to come right in. And we made a promise and said he will shut up if you disarm, eliminate, get rid of your nuclear weapons and abilities and, stuff. And he promises he will not do that to you. And we will have your back. We promise you, as America, we will have your back if anything or anyone, if you need protection or anything like that. We, as America, we promise to do that, since we asked you to remove your nukes so Russia shuts up and leaves the world alone. He didn't want Ukraine to have weapons like that so he could take them in the future when it was convenient for him. That is why Democrats in Congress for these last years that Ukraine has been fighting an invasion, that is why we're like, absolutely not. We have an obligation to them. We asked them to give up the main way to protect their own sovereignty and country. Please. It's like if Australia said, hey, we've built up a huge army. We just want you to, everybody feels so threatened. So could you just, get rid of half of them, and we promise we'll come to your aid. And then, 40 years down the road, somebody that's in charge over there says, fuck America. When it was America's fault, the West is who asked and brokered that and said, if they will get rid of that, we promise we will be there like that if you need us. Just, you need to help, because that will help a lot of furrow in Europe and shit. And the Ukrainian people wanted peace. They trusted us. And now he has to beg and grovel for our help. Do you understand why some of us are so enraged about how you're treating Ukraine? Did you know that? And if you did know that, now what do you think if you didn't think they should get help from us, that they were just leeching off of us? No, it was a contract of sort. We asked them to do that, to make themselves vulnerable, and we would be their protection. Now do you understand why Ukrainians feel so betrayed? And Canada knows that. They saw what they did. What America has done. How the Republicans for these last years have been fighting. They're not stupid. Mexico has seen it. They were our ally. We were supposed to be their protector. And now we're enabling their destroyer. And you wonder why those damn crying, bleeding liberals want to take care of everybody else except their own country. We made that promise. We made them vulnerable. And damn straight some of us still believe that responsibility and obligation exists. Chew that over. Peace out.